嘿，小伙伴们，欢迎回来到 ZFounder 的频道啦。那上一期呢，我们说到了关于 Earn Rich Access 这个模式的利与弊啊，也顺势了解了 Setlary 的点点滴滴啦。
Through our database and customers that have signed up with us, we see they are from all walks of life, all sectors, all industries. For any business, what is one of your biggest expenses? Salaries. A lot of them in the middle class are actually spending a lot more to begin with. Typically, an IPO is just the beginning of your journey.
那今天呢，我们将继续了解 Setlary 在于 B 端的布局，到底会如何吸引更多的企业使用 Setlary 呢？它的未来啊，又有什么样的发展蓝图呢？今天就和大家一起探讨。
Hey Charles, welcome back to the ZFounderclub show. The last episode we actually talked about how Setlary is actually different from the other market players. Although we are talking about similar concepts, also early wage access, but yours is more essential wage access.
That's right.
You are talking about spending what's belong to you anyways. It's like the salary is yours anyways to begin with. Not to say limit, but encourage them to spend on only the essential stuff for your own well-being as well as your family well-being. So today I would like to talk about the scalability of Setlary, the boring stuff like finance stuff. Maybe we start with users. What kind of businesses would you like to have more on your platform? Like what kind of founders should be the one approaching Setlary and say, hey, I should have this in my payroll system?
So to start with that, to be honest, we are considered sector agnostic. Basically, through our database and customers that have signed up with us, we see they are from all walks of life, all sectors, all industries. Because I always ask people this question now. For any business, what is one of your biggest expenses?
People.
Salaries.
Definitely.
Your payroll, right?
Yeah.
跑不掉的.
Yes.
You can delay your suppliers. Sometimes, most companies will sure drag their suppliers. Hey, one more month, I pay you. But for your workers, you definitely have to pay them on time. If you don't have workers, the business cannot continue, right?
True.
So that's kind of the starting point, right? As long as you have workers, you have to pay payroll. We believe our Setlary platform is something that is essential for your company. In terms of industries, F&B industry is something we would definitely welcome.
Mm-hmm.
We have quite a few F&B clients. Give an example. I think I don't mind sharing. Like one of our customers is Day One Noodles.
Oh, okay.
So they've got, I think, 20 outlets throughout Malaysia and still growing. They have many employees, of course. I think it's like 200-300 employees. And a lot of them are
Ground stuff,
right?
Yeah,
Lower wage stuff, rank and file stuff. So they definitely have that need for our platform. But at the same time, the company also likes to work with us because we put some of their food vouchers on our platform. So I have many employees from all these various companies.
I get what I mean. So it's like amplifying their reach. As in like you allow the employees of other companies to tap into this Day One Noodles resources, right?
So basically, I mean, they're putting their food vouchers through our platform. To us, it's a seamless kind of a marriage, right? Integration, right? Because you have to eat at the end of the day.
Definitely.
But using our Setlary platform, you get to enjoy these food vouchers as well.
Do you provide any other vouchers other than food? Any entertainment vouchers?
No. Entertainment, we don't get involved in that. We only provide the essentials.
Okay.
Right, that's what we're here to do.
So you are still razor sharp on essential wage.
Oh, for sure. Food vouchers, coffee vouchers, healthcare vouchers.
Well-being, your meds, your pharmacy.
Correct. That's supplements. That's what we're trying to promote here. Right?
Nice.
And in terms of industries, another example is we have a security guard company that signed up with us. So I want to say, okay, how is that interesting? To be honest, a lot of the security guards, they are also of a lower wage category. And they need their wages on a daily basis. So we found that very complimentary for what we're being able to offer them. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. What about the size of the company? Based on your database, do you have a certain number or
so
number that you can let me know?
In Indonesia, the population is huge, right?
Yep.
274 million population.
Way larger.
So each company, minimum they have a couple of hundred employees. By Malaysia, in Singapore, obviously a lot smaller. My ideal is, maybe at least 30 employees.
Okay, cool.
Right. So that's our minimum benchmark.
I see. But in the previous episode, you also talk about Setlary is not only catering to ground stuff, but also catering to mid-level stuff as well.
Yeah.
Because like what you say, I love one statement that you always mention, Charles, which is no one can actually be prepared for the unknown, right? You never know what will hit you suddenly.
Correct.
大家在还没有看影片之前呢，我们有个很小的通告，也就是 ZFounder 的大群呢，终于开通了。如果你今天在创业的话，记得加入咯 ，link 在 description。
For emergencies, right?
Yeah,
it is troubling, but we do see this kind of a phenomenon that a lot of middle management employees also need funding, for emergencies. To begin with, a lot of them in the middle class are actually spending a lot more to begin with.
Yeah, education,
right?
Healthcare,
Yeah, I mean,
food.
So we don't see it as just catering towards the low wages as well. Like you point out a good point. Actually, it's throughout the bandwidth. Of course, the highest bracket of income earners, that one they probably are well taken care of.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Well, but I love what you guys are doing. I mean, in essence, if I were to summarize for Charles, basically it's a plug-in module that you can use for your company payroll system right now at no cost at all.
Yeah.
Because it's like if my employee were to use it, then it's between you and the platform.
That's right.
Employer do not have to pay a single cent.
Correct.
As of right now.
And in the future as well, we're not going to charge our employers anything.
Whoa, wow.
There are no subscription costs. We give a very nice digital platform or interface or dashboard, we call it, to manage how you want to allocate these monies to your employees.
Nice, I love that. Right. That brings me down to the next question, because before meeting you today, I also interviewing you today, you have, I heard of great plans in your mind. Even the plan of going IPO. You want to walk me through the smaller details of the plan? I don't know about Singapore, Charles, but in Malaysia, everyone talk about, going IPO these days. Some even talk about going to Nasdaq. That's the thing, right? I'm not too sure if it's as easy as, people say, where everyone can go to IPO. But, you being a professional coming from a corporate finance background, definitely you have a more solid blueprint for Setlary.
This is an interesting one. I mean, in my previous life, I was a fund manager. I worked in corporate finance. I worked in corporate restructuring all my life. So naturally, I've seen a lot of capital markets activities, and IPO is one of them. So everybody think that, IPO is, something very sexy. Everybody aspires to IPO and then make a lot of money out of it. But in my experience, that's not true. Typically, an IPO is just the beginning of your journey.
True.
And you go back to the genesis of why people IPO or why companies IPO is to raise capital to help them grow their platform
for further expansion.
So on that point, yes, I would definitely want to explore an IPO in the future, but it's for the same reasons. It's to grow our platform and grow our reach. And through that IPO, I believe it will also give the public a lot more confidence, because for a listed company, there needs to be a lot of corporate governance and internal controls, and being very transparent. And then also using that platform, we can educate the market even better. So I think to answer the question, yes, I definitely want to pursue an IPO. But for those reasons, not just to raise money and exit at a high valuation. No, that's not what I'm trying to do here.
I understand. To build more values for Setlary. Yeah. Well, on top of my head, right, I was just thinking, what other services, because you're always talking about employee empowerment, empowering them to take care of their essential needs.
Right.
You're also talking about corporate empowerment.
Yes.
Empowering all these businesses to take care of their employee better. But if I were to focus on employee, right, do you have any other services, in the future that might be of benefit to them? One good example is helping them to transfer those money back to their families across different countries.
I mean, that's definitely a consideration. So actually, we're in discussions with a few potential customers, and these are bigger organizations, to come up with that type of a wellness plan. But of course, it's bespoke and, customized for each company. Like one of our clients we're talking to, they feel that, using our Setlary platform, will we be able to integrate insurance policies? And we say, yeah, why not? Right? Whether it's your life insurance plan, your healthcare benefits. Another one is nutrition. Whether you have a plan to get a subscription plan for supplements, for vitamins, which you will have to take anyways, right?
Yep.
On a regular basis.
Yep.
So using our platform, a portion of that monies can be applied to paying for your insurance, can be paid to buy your vitamins, buy your supplements, even do healthcare screening. You have to do on a yearly basis anyways.
So what do you see yourself growing into in the next 3 to 5 years?
Right.
Do you see yourself becoming a marketplace for employees?
Yeah, we hope so, to continue to build wellness for employees in general. That's something close to my heart. There's this rage about ESG, right? Environmental, social
governance.
and governance. We are here to want to solve that S lah, the social
social part.
part of things lah.
Yeah, I think you are doing a lot in that vertical, because we started off the interview by talking about a social issue. We are not even talking about people overspending on crazy stuff, whatever they want to spend in. But we are talking about spending on essential stuff.
That's right.
What if your wage can't even cover those essential items? How are you going to survive?
Or rather, even you could cover it, you got to wait till month end.
It's quite tight lah in that sense.
For sure, right? I think I want to reiterate lah, going back to the genesis, how this came about. The idea of capitalism has given rise to this. I think a lot of employers going to hate me for this.
Payroll practices.
They're exploiting their own employees for free working capital for 30 days to solve their own working capital need, which I think is not right.
Do you have any other plans in terms of social when it comes to ESG?
Hopefully, we'll solve this need lah in society. But for now, it's all about scaling up and educating the public.
Love that.
That's my next immediate plan, because especially in Malaysia, I don't think many people have heard about us, to be honest.
Yes.
Right.
That's your immediate problem lah, because in order for you to amplify your impact, to amplify the value of what you're doing, definitely you need more people to know you.
Right.
Any other plans to raise funds? Are you open for investors?
We are quite fortunate for now. So because we've got support from banks to come up with that amount of capital every month. If we're raising equity monies, right, to fund, basically we're raising long-term capital to fund short-term liquidity. There's a big mismatch on the liquidity spectrum. So fortunately we've got the bank, so we're quite comfortable for now.
I understand. So this year is gonna be all about market shares.
Yeah, that's right. We got a good runway, to be honest.
I mean, you mentioned you have about 50 companies now on board.
Oh yeah, just in Malaysia alone.
Where do you see yourself, like maybe the end of this year in Malaysia alone?
Oh, I'm quietly confident about the pipeline. So
200-300?
Hopefully. And hopefully some of the larger corporations. Because the larger corporations tend to take a lot more time. And especially the public listed ones, right? They've got a board of directors, they got a committee and all that to go through in terms of, governance and all that. So it's taking a bit of time, but I'm quietly confident we'll get there.
Nice. I love it, Charles. I really hope more company can look into what you're actually offering, because what you're actually offering, I think, not so much on the cost because to all these company with certain scale, your cost is not even that high to begin with.
But there's no cost to the employer to begin with, right?
And even to the employees, it's not that high. It's
for sure,
per transaction.
Yeah.
But it's more like what kind of benefits and also impact can you bring to the lives of your employees.
Right.
On that alone, I think is enough. I think it's a strong reason for them to consider to implement this in their payroll.
That's why I'm here on your program. So hopefully you can help me spread the word Right.
We will do.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, Charles, for your time. I mean, before we end today's interview, do you have any final words you would like to share to the audience?
Hopefully come and look at our platform, Setlary. We have a website, www.setlary.com. Setlary is Setlary. There's a play on the name. Basically, we are allowing employees to set their own salary. Set your own gaji.
Nice.
So have a look at us, come to our website, and then we've got a lot of social media as well. So hopefully you'll get to know us better in time to come. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Charles. Thank you for your time. Really like what you shared today, and I hope more companies can come to know what you are doing.
Okay.
All right. So that's it for today's sharing and also for today's interview. If you guys like this episode, do let me know in the comments and share it with your friends.